We are unveiling the potential design for the new Lee High School. We want to have a community dialogue about, first of all, our thinking behind this, whether people are receptive to what the new design will look like, and if they are, then how do we start to build the supports around the facility so that when it opens in 2016, it is ready to take students who will be exposed to experiences that prepare them for college or the workforce. I think that what we're trying to do is to look at what it really takes to create a 21st century learning environment, and that means how do we use technology, how do we change our instructional practices because technology will be used more, how do we use space, and then how do you design the learning activities so that the type of thinking, creative thinking that we want students to be engaged in, the kind of collaborative work that we want students to be engaged in, and the kind of academic rigor that we want to see students exposed to just becomes a normal routine as part of their school day. What the Board of Education has charged the staff with doing is working with our partners from CSRS Girard and Grayson Hebert Architects and our affiliate architects, the DLR group, to design our first prototype of a learning center that's designed to promote career and college readiness for students so that we can make them the most successful that they can possibly be. And what we're unveiling to you tonight is what that concept for this district will be. And again, I think we are exceedingly fortunate to have the partners that we do to help us dream big but vision correctly. So I'm going to ask Mr. Tapman if he'd bring remarks on behalf of the board, and then we'll go through the rest of our program.
Thank you, Dr. Taylor. And on behalf of my fellow board members, those that are here and those that couldn't be here tonight, I want to welcome all of you here for this very exciting project and this very exciting time in East Baton Rouge. What a great project and what a great opportunity we have before us. This is going to be a gem in our community, and we're so excited that you're here to see this launch and to be part of the visioning of this program and its design. So I know there's a lot of material to cover, so I just want to say thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for being engaged in our community, and thank you for working toward a great education system for the children of East Baton Rouge Parish.
How are you? Again, what we have attempted to do is to design or conceptualize a new state-of-the-art Lee High School. And this design will be based on 21st century design principles. And what we embarked upon earlier was to engage the community in a visioning session which led to the development of the guiding principles that will serve as the basis for how this project unfolds. These guiding principles are going to be what we vet every question about this building. This will be the lens that we vet these questions through. And the guiding principles are very, very simple. We want this to be a learner-centered environment that will engage every student. We believe personalization leads to creative collaboration. We want to actively see students have their individual learning needs met, but by learning how to work collaboratively with their classmates, with their teachers, with business, and with the community at large. We want to make sure that this is being flexible and adaptable are keys to our success. And that's not only just in terms of the curriculum and what we want students to do, but also in terms of the design of the building. Partnerships will leverage positive student outcomes. So we have to be very, very intentional about the partnerships that we need to create so that this school will help students to be career and college ready. And this has to be something that's sustainable. We need a sustainable site. We need a versatile site. We need a site that can pivot. I said this earlier today. 40 years from now, we should be able to come back to this building, and whatever the market dictates in terms of the learning needs of students, this building should be able to accommodate those learning needs. But our partnerships have to be sustainable. And what I mean by that is that we are not a district that is awash in cash. So if we are going to start something, we need to be able to finish it. And because our students and their needs will always be part of what we have to do, well, we're going to always need people to help us do things because our work will never be finished. But I want you to remember these guiding principles because when certain questions are asked, for example, are you going to have a football team? We need to go back to the guiding principles. Are we going to stay focused on digital media and arts? We need to ask ourselves, will these guiding principles, if that's relevant 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we're going to vet that through these guiding principles. We cannot be all things to all people. In education, sometimes we endeavor mightily to be just that. But what we are going to be is we're going to be focused on college and career readiness. We're going to be focused on innovation. We're going to be focused on project-based learning. We're going to be focused on collaboration. We're going to be focused on engaging students. And the building that you are going to see, as we describe it, as you see how it potentially can be designed, I hope that you'll see that the design of this building will facilitate these guiding principles and every other ambition we have for what's to come for these students. Remember, we are designing a building for students who are right now in elementary and middle school. The students who are here are prototyping the program that we want to see in that school. But the students who this school will serve ultimately are right now sitting in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. So we have to get this right because my goal in this is not to have a functionally obsolete building when it opens. Our goal is to have a building that will meet the needs of students in 2016, 2026, 2036, and beyond. So 40 years from now, when we all come together in this auditorium to talk about the next iteration of this building, you'll be able to see your tax dollars don't have to stretch as far because if we do this right, we'll have a building that's versatile for the ages. I'm going to turn this over now to our partners, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves to us. But what I'd like for you to do is to please recognize the extreme hard work and visioning that these individuals have engaged in. What impresses me the most about our partners is that what we talk about, what we dream about, what we conceptualize, they're able to take and turn into a concrete reality. And that's very, very impressive. We are most fortunate to have partners such as these.
We can't tell you how excited we are as a local firm, Grace and Hebert being here, and our partners, DLR Architects being on our team. I'm going to briefly just introduce a few of our team members, David, Hebert, and Marcus with our office at Grace and Hebert. And then Andrew, Amber, and Christy. Christy's with Grace and Hebert, hiding in the back, with DLR Group. So we've got the experts here that have done 21st century schools throughout the country. They're the #1 K-12 group in the country, working with us to make sure we get this thing right. So what is a 21st century school? You know, what we're talking about is a technology-driven school with flexible spaces. The schools we went to, or I went to, maybe not all of us, with the corridors and the halls, cells and bells, won't exist at the new Lee High. What we're talking about is really a collaborative space throughout the campus. You can go inside, you can go outside, and every space is a learning space. It's a totally different way of thinking about how we collaborate and teach our kids to make them better. A little bit about the curriculums. What we're proposing, or the board is proposing, is a digital arts, biomedical, and engineering. So when you look at the plans, you'll see there's 3 academies planned for a potential 4th one later down the line, but there's 3 academies that will be built now, and those 3 academies are planned to be this. And I know the board and and Superintendent are working on some partners, corporate partners that'll be tied into each one of those academies that'll be working with us to design the specialized learning space. So what we're talking about is really facilitating project-based learning. Now, I could explain it, but I'm an architect, okay? Averil can explain it so well that we decided we don't want him to do this. So anyway, we're going to let you talk a little bit about project-based learning.
We have the best students in the city. I say that to everybody because they make it really easy to work here. One of the things that's great about working with these groups of kids is that they are so fit for project-based learning. And what that is a melding of some real-world, non-traditional teaching methods to get across the same information. So a geometry lesson for us looks like a teacher teaching sometimes, but a lot of times assigning projects. So we had some kids outside a couple weeks ago that literally put our bench together as a part of their geometry class. We have a young man that's working on a project right now. This cameraman in the middle is actually a Lee student. Those young people put together the video. Everything we do, we try to incorporate their talents in it.